Go ahead.
Okay.
It's recorded.
All right. So I get dragged to this networking event, and we're there to mingle. That's the whole point of the event, is to connect with new people. But I walk in and it's very cliquey. You see these groups of people that clearly know each other, and it's almost like, we're walking around trying to have conversations, and it's like you make eye contact with them, they look away. Like it's almost like a go away, don't talk to me. So we did talk to a few people, and that was nice. But one thing I didn't like was, and I didn't know this until after the fact, why it's like this, but I went there thinking, okay, in somewhere like LA, where I'm used to going to networking events, if you look like an idiot in front of these people, it's okay, you're going to see them again, if you don't want to. But in this small town event, I realized that it's all the same people going to these things over and over and over again. So I don't know how you're really supposed to, I feel like once you've been to one, you've been to them all. Because it's the same core group of people every time. And then I didn't know why, but when I walked in, it was like they had hired not just one photographer, multiple photography companies to document this event. And it felt very is it in my head, or I felt like they were gravitating towards me. And just they must have gotten 500 pictures of me, pictures and videos. And it was very awkward, more awkward than the conversation. I can deal with an awkward conversation, but I did not enjoy the fact that, I went to their event. They're inviting us there to connect with people. But the photos, it was almost like paparazzi. It was invasive. There really weren't that many people there. There were only 20 people there in kind of a small outdoor area. And it went on for about 2.5 hours. And at one point, just to give you an idea of how aggressive the photography was, I'm sitting there talking to this lady at a table, and a photographer comes up and puts one of those big cameras with the long lens, and the lens is 6 inches in diameter, puts it right next to her head and is pointing it at me as I'm in the middle of this conversation. I can deal with an awkward conversation, but that was probably more uncomfortable than anything. And then afterwards, they want to post it all over the internet. So it almost feels like, how influencers might they exploit their kids for attention online. It kind of felt like I was being exploited for attention online. Oh, look at these people that we got to come to our same people all the time. If you're a new person and you walk in there, they want pictures of you, and they're gonna plaster that everywhere.
So was there much collaboration? Any collaboration, or was it just what was your overall feel of it?
Well, like I said, it felt very cliquey. A lot of the people already knew each other, and they were just kind of there socializing with each other. And then if you try to approach them, it's their body language is they'll turn away from you. They'll you can just tell they're not open to talking.
Let me ask you this question: if you would have said, "Hey, my name is so and so, and I want to buy your product," you think you may have received a different reaction?
Well, I do know that, and this is how I feel about all networking events I've gone to so far, is that everybody wakes up out of bed that morning with the intention of going and selling their thing. They're not there to hey, let me go see what other people have going on. It's just, let me see how many people I can push my thing on. So I felt like there were a lot of people talking, not a lot of people listening.
Exactly, and that is the same experience I'd had many times in California, and it's no one really wants to network. people are really trying to sell their own stuff. And I'm just going to be honest with you, and they suck at it because they don't even try to build relationships. They're like, okay, I traveled, 45 minutes to be here. I'm gonna be here 2 hours. I'm gonna drink this coffee. I'm gonna eat this pizza or salad or pastry. And damn it, I want to sell my stuff because that's the only reason why I'm here.
Honestly, I feel like I feel like I made a better connection with the other new people versus the people that go there all the time, because when like I said, they're standing around talking to each other, but they're not even there to connect on business. Really, it's kind of like you had two things going on. And I don't know if that's normal for a networking event in California, or maybe that was just exclusive to a small town thing. But it was like they were there to hang out with their people, and that was it. And I just thought that was kind of strange, because I thought, isn't the whole point of this to mingle and everybody talk to everybody? But yeah, I mean, the other kind of new people there that were there to connect, I feel like we're very new, and they were there because they were kind of desperate and they didn't have a lot going on. And I don't know. I have stuff I think I have more going on at home and just going about my day-to-day life. Like I felt like after I left there, like I probably would have done better if I just had gone about my life, gone to the gas station, gone to the grocery store, and just talked to everybody everywhere I went. I feel like going and frequenting places local to me and building connections that way in a more organic, less forceful, I don't know, kind of icky way. There's something icky about those networking events.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in charge of that online networking, not online, but that traditional networking event, what would you have done differently?
I think as the hostess, I would have gone around introducing people to each other, rather than letting people walk around lost and trying to. Because as a new person there, amongst a bunch of people that already knew each other, and they were just kind of, just chit-chatting. I think I would have helped initiate meetings through introductions.
I love it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do starting June 30th, because I've been to many networking sessions, some that cost, $200 a month, $300 a month, depending on what community. If it's an upscale community, they typically want, $200 to $300 a month. If it's like an urban type thing, it's like $100 or something like that. But I want to thank you for your feedback, because this was totally unsolicited, and I was working on something when you called me.
Oh, yeah, no, that was just something that I kind of got dragged into last minute, and I was hoping that the experience would be different from ones that I'd gone to previously, but it was kind of the same issues, but worse. I think the small town thing makes it worse for some reason.
Right. So let me ask you another question. If you had access, I know what you do. I'm not going to say what you do for a living, but if you had access to a nationwide online networking session where there's like people from different parts of the country, maybe even the world, would that be a more collaborative type experience, where there's like people from Nebraska, people from Los Angeles, people from Vermont, people from Florida? Would you feel, just not knowing anything that I do yet with this, would that be more of a collaborative type, more productive experience in your opinion?
I mean, I know that there's a lot to be said for meeting people face to face, but I don't think that connections can't be made online and over the phone as well. I mean, I think talking to people, I love talking on the phone. I think I do really well there. I like speaking to people one-on-one. I feel like I can really connect with them through a good back and forth conversation. So yeah, I do think that something like that would be ideal, especially for a person like me. Like, I don't know, I like the convenience factor of it. Like, if I could get that same, because I kind of feel like, okay, so you get dressed up, you fight traffic to go across town, to go to this place and spend money and, stand around like you're at a cocktail party trying to balance your drink and your plate and your, and meanwhile, they've got these people taking all these pictures and, I don't know.
So did this event cost any money?
It didn't, but they had sponsors there. So people that sponsored the event, we were standing around and at some point somebody came around with some gift bags, and inside the gift bag was, one of those, I don't know what you call them. They're like forgive me, I don't drink. So I don't know what they're called. I think they're like the little bottles of alcohol.
Okay.
They had that in the bag, and then they had like the business cards of the sponsors. And they passed it out, and they're like, oh, these are they're almost like little party favors or little gifts for showing up. But really it was like something to kind of feature the sponsors of the event. And I didn't know that when we got them. And I turned to the person next to me, the person I came with, and I said, this would be a really good icebreaker. I wonder if this would be allowed for us to do this, or if that would be frowned upon. That's before I knew that it was like a thing that the sponsors got to do. But to be able to bring something to an event like that and pass it out and be like, oh, here you go, here's a little gift from my company or whatever. I thought that would have been a really good icebreaker. But it just felt like so exclusive in a way that, the whole point of the event is to be inclusive, but in a lot of ways it felt very exclusive, like not in a good way. Not the kind of exclusivity that's like, oh, no, this is like, okay, well, you just feel like there's barriers to connection.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I want to thank you for your feedback, and I will post this to my network and people listening, because this was very, very valuable, excellent feedback. So I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
No problem.